Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat, and over there is Kristen. You can kind of see her underneath that light. There she is. So that's my lovely partner in all things life. You know, and however you want to describe it, you know, wife, whatever. So lots of terms for relationships out there. There really are. I hope you have a successful and fun relationships with people around you. That's friendships, whatever. Not making a difference. Other people really make things better. Anyway, enough of me yammering about weird metaphysical strangeness. We're here to paint miniatures. That's what we do here. I'm Pat. I paint them. They're pieces. We paint them. That's kind of what it says in the. I mean, if you didn't know we painted things, I don't know how you didn't know that. Anyway, I'm also a goofball, so you know if it's your first time here, don't take it too personally because it's definitely just me being goofy. Anyway. We have gotten a lot of stuff done here. There's a cat hair in there.
Always.
Forever and always. Come here. Got it.
They said you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, we are to the stage where we are coming through and making sure we don't have any little surprises. Places where maybe we misstroked, like that one right there accidentally got a little white, so you want to kind of smooth that out. Just making sure we're going to check it all out. Now we're going to drop a wash on this, and we're going to start working on the next stage, which is all this green glow effect. So it should be an exciting day. We're going to see if we get to this weapon today. That'll be a whole lot of fun. It's an interesting technique to get it to look. We're going to get it to look kind of like the box art. It may not be exactly like theirs because our colors are just a hair different, but we're going to see if we can emulate that style and kind of show you, kind of walk you through it.
Yeah, the times that I have tried to emulate other artworks, I've learned that going for that near is much less frustrating than trying to be exact. You start trying to be exact to another piece of art and it gets very frustrating very quickly.
Yeah, you really shouldn't worry too much about completely duplicating somebody else's work. You want to get close, you know, make it look a certain way. You really trying to be exactly like somebody else's. It requires a different kind of eye, I think. I don't know if there's a better word for it than that, but you have to have a certain way of looking at things to make it work.
Yeah, for an average person like me, it was just frustrating. So.
Alright, so my goodness, pretty dang close here. Now and again I see another little place I missed. That one needs to be done in the other color. Make sure we get all that bronze down in there. And his chassis part right here, or whatever this is. I don't know. They're machines. It's kind of hard to tell what the heck you're looking at. Some of this stuff, it's like, what is that supposed to be? It's some part of his body. And again, we're in that situation where it definitely would have been easier to do this when they were unassembled. But we're going to make do, because that's how we do it. And that cartouche is dry, so we can try and just barely touch the edge of that and get that painted up. It's really about just ever so gently touching it to get that to pop out of there. So hopefully that's looking pretty good. All right. Well, we got that, we got that, we got that. Got that. Oh, there's another little spot. Got a little green on there. And it's just important to go ahead and make sure you got it all taken care of. You don't want to come back later. It's annoying. Okay. That's about it for brass. Let's check on this other color. Our Iron Warriors. Oh, there's a little bit more brass that should show through. That's part of his. Okay, that makes sense. The tops of these shoulder pieces in here need to be Iron Warriors. Feeling a little sleepy. I don't think I drank enough coffee today.
Right? It's not sleepy weather out there, except for I think maybe the allergens.
Oh yeah, the allergens are killing it around here lately. They have been full throttle. Alright, a little in there, a little bit in there. I think there's these inside of these shoulder pads. I did a little test earlier today, and I think I'm going to do those in our phthalo blue. Give it just another little bit of a darkness down there. Help balance against that bronze. It's gonna be a good contrast. We just ate, so we're like in the middle of kind of the after lunch, like, that's probably why we're actually sleepy.
Yeah, I think I ate too fast.
You probably, yeah, she was just tearing it up. For a little thing, sometimes she can put away some food. It's fun. I hope you guys ate lunch, because you really should.
Yeah.
It's good to eat. Eating is good for you. Everyone should 100% eat as often as possible. Alright, that little spot right there, we're going to make this one of our little glow cables. Just mark that out. Hey, while you're up, can you give me some coffee?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So, that should get me a little bit more up and going. Okay. Now we got this little pylon that's sticking off this shoulder, and it is supposed to be like a regular metallic. So we are going to go with more of our Iron Warriors. I think this is supposed to be a part of their black stone that works a lot of their technology. The Necrons have a very specific technology. Ancient and whatnot. He's holding a weapon called an Eldritch Lance, which is fun. I'm not sure that the Necrons themselves call it Eldritch Lance, but it's a great term for us humans to be able to say in the game. Ancient horror of eldritchness. That's always fun. Alright. We saw some bronze over here. Right where his little coif comes out right here. I need to make sure that's bronze. So it'll look proper. There we go. Just be careful. Take your time. Take deep breaths. Go to work. No worries. No worries at all. Okay, so we got our markers down for all of that. We're going to deal with all of this stuff in a second. It will work better if we go ahead and do the wash, I think, and then I can come back. Let me make sure. Oh, there's a little blemish, a mistake right there. Take care of that guy. All right. There we go. So, next up, we get to use our wash, which is it's a pretty interesting mix of ingredients that I've created here. It's mineral spirits and oil paint, about equal. It's sometimes it's equal parts, sometimes it's not. It just kind of depends on what I've been doing. So, but this stuff works out really, really well to make it look like old metal. And I don't really care if it messes up this brush or not too much. This brush is pretty old. It's lost all its glue on it from years of water and whatnot and misuse by multiple children. Okay, so I like to start at the top and just go down. And any things we did miss, we're going to pick up. Oop, except for maybe that one right there. That one's bad. At this point, hopefully, you've gotten a lot more. You don't have any of those. That was a big one. Make sure. Now I'm nervous. I think like I missed too many or something. I think I got most of it. Heck, we've been working on it for like 2 days. So, should have it by now, right? Alright. We'll let that dry out a second. And we'll just do... make sure that it doesn't look like it got on there right. Here we go. I just want to make sure it's going to look legit. I might have changed a little bit while it was drying. Sometimes that happens. It dries out, and it looked good before it got dry, and then after it dries out, you're like, oh, I did not get enough on there. All right, so we're gonna knock out his head and stuff first. We'll just start off with that. This stuff flows pretty easy. You don't need a whole lot of it, so you can get it started, and you've got a lot of room to move. It also is slower drying because it's oil based, so it's a little bit slower drying than using our usual water and acrylic stuff. But it works wonders. You can even kind of kind of smudge it off later, which is part of the reason I like using it on metal, because I can just kind of rub it off with a paper towel later. Or preferably, if you can get a makeup sponge, that works the best. But this is really going to help all of our little doodads and lines and stuff that are going to pop right out for us. And that's what we want it to do. I'm going to make all this stuff look a little bit more used, a little bit more mechanical. And it'll even get, like, this wash will look a little oily. Now, that's some sort of fuzz. I don't know what that is. Some sort of fuzzy piece. Looks like something from a stuffed animal. I don't know. Anyway. You can use different colors of oil washers if you want. You know, it might have been nice to do this as with a tan oil wash or brown oil wash. That might have looked good too, if that's what we wanted. But I like my Grimdark to be grim dark. He looks a little too polished in the other one. Like, this guy is supposed to be some sort of like crazy evil guy, and he's just kind of sprightly and cartoonish a little bit. So, you know, we're darkening him up. We're gonna make him a little bit more grimdark, I suppose. That's the whole shtick for Warhammer anyway. It's supposed to be grimdark. Sometimes I don't think their stuff's dark enough. Thanks for the coffee. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Now this is an interesting bit here, because I want to get the darker bits into these underneaths. But I also want to, I'm gonna put another kind of color on this to make that kind of, have a tint to the metallic of it. Might even use an ink to do it. But I really want to make sure I get those little underneath parts of the deal that's set up for us. I don't know exactly what you would call that. I mean, I know what you could call it if you were trying to be obscene, but other than that. And we're even doing that blue bit because we want it to seem like it's metal as well. So we want it to have the same kind of properties. And then we're going to come back and we'll put a highlight on there of a turquoise. That'll really pop it out from the phthalo blue we had on there earlier. Like I said, don't get too crazy. You don't want it to pool up in places on you where you don't want it to pool. So, you know, make sure you leave it in places you want it to be. The viscosity of it's a little different than a standard wash, so it might take a little bit of practice. Oh, we missed some bronze. Look at that. All the way down in there. Another good thing about applying a wash like this is it is going to give you that chance in case you were missing something. I have now found that I miss little things like this more on the show because I'm busy talking and I get off on a tangent and I forget to do the other side. I did one side and I've forgotten to do the other side. And then I come back and I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't get done, did it? And it's on me. I got totally my fault. I get too much yap in my jaws sometimes. It's fun. Maybe my age showing a little. It's okay too. I don't mind. All right. Definitely looking good now. It's incredible the difference the little bit of that oil wash makes. Smooths a lot of stuff out. Darkens up everything in the right place. Helps show off some stuff. In the end, it's going to make our next job a whole lot easier. And they make a bunch of these washes. If you don't want to have to mess with like making it and stuff, you can buy. I think the GW one is a null oil. That's what they call it. So it definitely exists out there. And that may actually work a little different than what I'm using. I've never actually used it, so I don't know. But it looks, from what I've seen, it looks like it reacts similar to the way this wash works. Oh, we should have done that under there. I did not check to see if both sides were done. That's okay. We'll just do that's just a little tiny bit. We'll do that later. Good to know it's there though. All right. Golly, that's a lot of metal. Make sure we got it all. Yeah, looks great. All right. I should run that old crusty guy through the soap just to see what it does. That would be fun. Okay, so we're gonna sit down for just a second. We want to let that kind of start to dry up. And then, it won't take long. If you're gonna make this stuff, make sure your jar is sealable. This was an old, what came in this? I think it was like vegetable base that I use for making soups. But it's a nice sealable jar. It's got a nice plastic seal on the top, and I can seal it pretty tight. So make sure you got something that's gonna seal airtight, because otherwise it'll go away, and then you wasted your time making it, and then you gotta clean out the inside of it. Blah blah blah. And don't make too much at a time. That way you run less chance of that happening to you as well. I mean, so I only make a little bit at a time, but I like to have a good jar to shake. And this one's for my big old hands. I can grab on it and shake it, which makes me feel happy sometimes. Sometimes sometimes you just gotta shake. Hey, listen, sometimes you just gotta shake something, okay? You just gotta grab it and shake it. So there we go. And yeah, let it dry off. And you can use a toothbrush. You can use a Q-tip if you want to take this off, but it will, because of its nature, it's going to come off pretty easily. So any place where we want to kind of shine it back up, we can just go across it once it's dry with a paper towel, and it's just going to it'll come right off of there, and it'll leave your cracks. And you can even kind of use it like, to get your shine into the right places you want it before you come back with a highlight. Very effective. Very effective. I know sometimes it seems like it's like, well, you did all that to rub it right off. And it's like, yeah, we can. But that's okay. That way it gets into all the crevices. Gotta let that dry just a little bit longer. Golly, he looks snazzy already. It really does help out a lot of the little details. So like right here, that's got a just a little bit of shine up on it. Sticks real nice inside that crack. Maybe shine up these shoulder pads just a little on this one too. And that's where maybe like a makeup sponge would be easier. One of the little ones on a stick you use for like eyeshadow and stuff. Not that I know anything about eyeshadow other than I have occasionally lived with girls. There's one right over there. Even when I was in theater, I think I had to have somebody do my eyeshadow for me. I don't really, makeup's not my forte. I'm getting better at it, though. I like getting the chance to paint female models because I don't lead little models. Anyway, so because I don't get like a whole lot of a chance to do that. Or I'm not very good at it. But it's getting better.
Goodness.
I know, right? I'm glad that X-Acto knife didn't just stab me in the foot.
I'm glad too.
That would have really sucked for me.
It was everything, wasn't it?
It was. I didn't shut the drawer quite right, and I nudged it with my elbow. Well, it wasn't everything. It was a lot, though. All right. Okay. Now we're done with all that. We're going to move on to working some of this green in. Now, this is a phthalo green versus the phthalo blue that we used yesterday. And this is going to work out great for what I was trying to do last time. We just kind of want to do a little bit of this, and we're going to layer these two colors onto each other randomly. And we're going to, we're going to paint whatever we want with it because I'm going to let it slip in my hand. Good thing that's fresh. Get off there. So you guys, sometimes you make mistakes. You have a slip. It happens. Just stay calm and fix it. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. If we have to, we'll throw some more of that black wash on there and it'll be fine. Be just fine. Okay. And this is a yellow-green light shade from Golden. It's a little bit of a pretty hot yellow green. Like it's and it works great because you have those different striking colors and it really like makes it look like it's bubbling. And this is a much better green color than using those inks we were doing yesterday. That was just a different one. That's one technique you could use, but there's lots of techniques to do things. And the orbs will be a little bit different and the blades are going to be a little different, but these cables, we just want to kind of do something quick and easy to help give us the effect, but not something we're going to spend too long on. It's just because painting cables is hard, and you just don't want to. Getting it to do a specific pattern is going to be harder because of its nature, the roundness of it. whatnot. Let me see how that back one looks now. Now it looks like it's pulsating with power, or something's moving through it. That's the idea. So you don't like, we're not trying to paint the whole thing one color of green. We're kind of trying to leave those little spots, leave those little gaps. That's what's going to kind of make it look like it's pulsating. And I'm throw the white down on there first so I can see what I'm doing. And it gives the other green more of a background. Makes the green just pop out just a little bit more. Heck yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, we'll do the one on his chest, and then we'll come do this other one on the other side of him. A little bit, and then with this one we can even put a little bit on the stuff surrounding it. Just kind of give it a little bit of a glow. Be very careful with that. A little bit goes a long way in this. And you really got to pay attention to what, because I want this to be a dull glow. I don't want it to be too bright. I mean, we can do that on these too if we really wanted to, but you're not going to really see much. Not that I don't think you're going to see much on that one either, but it's all right. When we get down here, we'll do more of it. I think these things are pretty lit up, if I remember right. Alrighty. We got this one back here. Very slowly, very gently find those ledges and get it all painted. There we go. And now we just do the same thing. Come back with our light green. Give it a little bit of time to dry, just a few seconds. Sometimes if it's too wet when it goes on there, you won't get the other color to come through quite right. And so sometimes you got to be patient and wait on it. Those are looking cool. He's gonna love it.
There's just so many tiny little pieces on that guy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of little, just little spindly bits and things that are hanging out. But you know, this is a leader unit. He's a big time bad guy. So, you know, you got that going. He's got that going for him. So.
He looks awesome.
Oh yeah. Here's another great example of how that works. Where you can just rub it off and kind of get the shine back where you want it. Makes it look way dark, way old. Alright, here we go. Probably wasted enough time. Should be able to get in there and do it now. Again, you want it to kind of... There we go. Looks great. Okay. We'll deal with these orbs next. And this is gonna kind of be the same thing. This one though, we're gonna bring that lighter color in more at the tops and then transition down. And that's just that old phthalo green right there. And we're just going to start blending in this light green right here. Quiet day today. Not many fish. And that's alright. We'll do our hour, and if there's nobody around, then we'll pump on out of here. We'll get around to it tomorrow. Quite alright.
I'm here.
That's amazing. I like having you here.
I'm quiet though too. I'm feeling blah with the allergy stuff today, so
That's alright. That's alright. You've done enough chatting to make it worse. At least somebody was talking besides me.
You're not totally talking to yourself. Oh, hi. Did you wake up from your nap?
That would be butt again.
No. He says yes.
That's my name, don't wear it out.
What is it, buddy? Some post-nap scritches.
Alright. So, again, right in there just a little bit more. And maybe Just a little bit around these edges. Ooh, not that much. Oh, and I got a strike up here too. That one looks like it's drying. Oof, good. Glad we got it there. Another good thing about that armor wash is that it kind of puts a coat on top of it that'll help you get paint off if you accidentally overstrike.
That's fun.
Yeah, it does. It's a helpful thing. Especially like what we're trying to do right here, where I'm just trying to make it look like it's glowing around the inside of this thing. Just a dull glow.
I love that effect. It's a fun one.
It's hard to do and make it look right. I've been guilty of overdoing it many times.
Mm.
And that's kind of what you don't want to do, is overdo it. That kind of looks like it's shining in that little pocket, which is great. Oh, we got somebody on. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so the next part, we gotta start laying down some more of this white for the next bits. Just pay attention where you're going. Take your time, rotate your model. The best way to go. Anywhere we're going to try to put that glow effect, we're going to want to bring up to the white. I'm still debating whether or not I want to do those little spots in between. Mr. Dave Cunningham's back. Finesse is the key. It is indeed, sir. Finesse is key. You gotta be very, very patient. I think I'm gonna leave him alone as much as I want to do him. The box art definitely does not have those glowing, just all that other stuff. I didn't even have these cables glowing. I made those glow. And you can't see what this is doing, so who knows? I definitely want to make it one of the little green glowing doodads. Same thing with his eye. His eye. Such as it is. Tiny, tiny, tiny little things. Make sure you're keeping your brush wet and keep your point good. See, that one's starting to separate on us. This is not what we want. Might need to have better cleaning. Dave says art is the vision of the artist's perspective, and that is very true. It's the visuals that you're seeing from the perspective of those of us that can create things. I guess I could probably do a little bit more on there. All right, I'm gonna go for it, just to give it more of the green. It'll be hard to do and not mess this guy up. Now I'm wishing I'd picked up that /10.
Smaller brush.
Oh yeah, this is a smallest one I have currently. It's a /5. But they didn't have any Kolinsky, true Kolinsky sable, so I did not.
So we need a /10 that's actual
Kolinsky. I'll find one. They're all, you can get them.
Oh, I'm sure.
They just didn't have them at Michael's. Michael's isn't like the finest of art stores.
No. Maybe the most eclectic.
Yeah, they got a little bit of everything in there. Yeah, I'm gonna like that. We needed to have all that green going up his back, kind of like the guy in what's that game? Deep Space, Dead Space. Isaac is the name of the character, and he has his health bar is on the back of the character model on the screen, and you can tell by the little things that are filled up on his back how high or low your health is.
Okay.
It's just these lights. It's a really cool way of doing it. It's a survival horror kind of game, so.
Right.
Yeah. All right. A little bit more coffee. That's definitely helping. And we'll let this white dry for just a second, because you gotta do that. That's another thing you don't see in like the videos. I was watching Casey over at eBay Miniature Rescues. If you've never checked out that show, totally check that show out, because it's super cool. He buys like junk models or old models that people painted when they were kids, or whatever, and restores them. And it's a neat channel. It's a really neat concept. He's kind of part of the inspiration for me getting into all this painting online. When I was thinking about doing it, he was one of the people I watched. Him and Bill make stuff in Boyle Eye Hobby Time. Those guys are really cool. All of them do really neat work. Okay. Beware of the sock monkey. Oh man, I need to get another sock monkey. I haven't had one in a while. We used to have a sock monkey at our apartment, and like occasionally you'd smack somebody in the back of the head with it.
Right.
It's a guy thing. It's totally okay. Okay. Phthalo green again. We're just doing the same little dance. So I'm just gonna do it all. I'm gonna do all of this phthalo real quick, and then we'll change colors. It'll give it a chance to dry as I'm going anyway, which is good. So a lot of fun. I really dig as much of a pain as it is to kind of do all these little spiny bits. I love the different checks to do. Oh, Crypto Bakel. Yo, my dude, doing a check and it looks great. Awesome. Yeah, YouTube's not happy about it. It keeps telling me it's not excellent, but it's good, which is fine. I don't like it as long as it looks good on that end. I am happy. Thanks for the report, my friend. Truly appreciate you. Hope you're being safe out at the farm. And for anybody who is curious about crypto mining and crypto currency and just the crypto market in general, go check out Crypto Mikhail's channel. He runs a lot of updates. So go get your updates with the morning miner meeting with Mr. Mikhail. I always free plug my friends. You should always free plug your friends. Because, like, those are your friends and they need your help. And your heroes. You should definitely free plug the heroes. But, like, they don't really need your help, though. Your friends always need your help with their little business ventures. It's good and good for you. So no problem. And yes, sir, having a good time as always. Thanks for the shout out, fam. You got it, bro. That green is looking so sick. I love it. Again, on these cables, we don't want to get paint it too much because we don't want it to be that solid color. We still want it to look like it's pulsating. Of course, here we go. Now we're starting to pick up viewers. We've been chilling out for like 45 minutes and all the viewers start showing up. It's fantastic. It's the way, it always seems like this way it goes on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't know if it's late lunch or what it is. Who knows? I just appreciate people coming by. It's pretty awesome. Here I'm just kind of doing a steepling effect. I'm just kind of barely touching it. I'm not going to worry too much about it being overly precise because I want it to, again, have that kind of crackle energy look. Yeah, looking great, looking great. Yeah, that looks great. Really happy with that. Alright, I'm going to make sure we've got all our little edges covered. I did get a little bit of green on that guy. So any of our little overpaint we want to take care of real quick. Anything that looks just horribly, horribly done. I like it. I like it a lot. Looks great. Yeah. Come on, Steve, give us a good focus. There we go. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that looks so cool. Okay. Well, I guess we need to do this energy weapon, don't we? Eldritch Lance is its name of this particular weapon. You see something outside?
Something outside, yeah.
Yep. And remember, this little base white piece does not have to be. It needs, just make sure it's nice and smooth. It doesn't have to be super filled in because we're going to drop that phthalo right on top of it. So, you know, get it covered as best you can. Well, that's not a whole lot of fun. But sometimes you just got to get in there and get it done. Another one of those moments where you wish you did not put it together.
Hi, Buttons. What did you do with my blender pencil?
He chased it off into the 8th dimension. There we go.
Positive that that's true. Luckily, they came in a pack.
Right? Got other ones. That'll work. Okay. Do his little syringe or whatever this is. Pretty strange little bit of technology. I mean, the whole guy is kind of a strange bit of technology. I'm not worried if I get a little bit of white on the guy who's getting sucked up, because he's gonna be a lot lighter colors when we get there anyway. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that because I'm going to paint that too. Phthalo. Now, a lot of this is all about getting like an angle set up on it, and then blending from one to the other, and then edge highlight. That's what, if you're wanting to make it look like the heavy metal painters or whatever, that's what they do. And we're gonna get there here in a minute, either on today's show or maybe tomorrow's show. Right now I gotta get all this white done so we can put phthalo on top of it. And then we can do the other parts. Just gotta be patient. Take your time. Pay attention. No problem. Okay. Well, looks like we're back down to nobody watching. It's so funny how it comes and goes.
45 minutes in is just check-in time, I guess.
Maybe it is. Alright, get a nice little coat of that phthalo green. Luckily, it's a whole lot easier to see what you've done with the green on the white. Sometimes with that white, you just couldn't see if it was touching it or not until it was. And you're like, okay, there it is. Get right back in there. Not the easiest place to reach. Again, definitely would have been easier to put this paint on it while it was disassembled, but we may do, baby. That's what we do. Get her done. All right. All right, now the next stage of this is we're going to put in some highlights of this other green, but it's going to I need to wait just a second. I might actually need another coat of phthalo, so we got to let it sit in and see if it's going to be dark enough, or if we're going to need another round. And I think it's going to need another, especially in these bottom cracks. These little cracks here, you want to make sure that's pretty dark. Now, the reason we want it dark enough is so we can get it to when we put that highlight on top. It's really gonna shine through for us and look really clean and bright. It'll look brighter. And I'll let it dry. I'll just do these little bits. I'll let that dry. Really appreciate you stopping by. You guys are awesome. For all of you out there, whether you're here now or you're here later on to watch us on the replay or whatever, we really appreciate you. Wouldn't be here doing it without you. We're at 200 subscribers now too, so that's really cool. I'm really excited about that. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? You know, get in there, put those numbers up for me. Let's get some YouTube money so we can waste it on models.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, man. We can waste it on models and camera upgrades and all that stuff. Alright, so that's a pretty nice green. I love that color. Phthalo is such fun. Alright, so now here's where it gets a little bit crazy. And what we're trying to do, ooh, that's too much paint. What we're trying to do is kind of bring it to a sharp edge. So you kind of want to start where it's going to be the brightest and then kind of fade out from there. Or if you touch that guy's hand, we're going to paint it again later. And when we get down to the edge, and we just want to edge highlight some of this stuff. Definitely not as easy as it looks. Sometimes you got to kind of start over and try again, and you know, there's a little bit of a practice to it. Sometimes you got to add a little bit more of one of the other greens or whatever, but you'll get it. Just practice. Once you're going to get it started, you can kind of start working it out from there and really start bringing it to life. And there's a couple different ways to do this too. You could use a wash to do it. You could, there's a couple different ways to go about it. Kind of depends on what works best for you and what you think looks the best. Since that's definitely something that's eye of the beholder. And then we're probably going to come back again with like a white on a couple of these sections to really shine them up. Or we might mix a little bit of white with this bright green to really get that edge highlight to come out. There we go. Something a little bit like that, right? Makes sense, yeah? If you fella, might need to bring a little bit more this up. There we go. That's a little bit closer. All right. I think there's something in this brush. We're going to have to clean it. I just cleaned it too. Right? Take your time on these little edge highlight things. It's a lot like doing those cartouches. Just got to take your time. And barely touch the edges of it. Get over here where you can see better. There we go. barely running that line. Whew. And take your deep breaths. Let it out, let it out. In. Out, 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 out. And we're just kind of blending this down. If we have to, we'll add a little bit more phthalo later. Okay, just turn. Now we're going to get this back in, and we're going to do kind of a little blend right here. We might have to come back and do a little bit more work on that edge highlight again, but now we've got that softer fade, which is what we're really looking for here. Soften up this fade down. All right, we're going to do these. Very gently. Very carefully. Just the very edge. And that's why they call it edge highlighting. I haven't done this in a long time. It's a lot of fun. At least for an energy weapon. I've done some edge highlighting on some other stuff. I haven't done an energy weapon in a while, so it's kind of fun to be back at it. I mean, I'm kind of geeking out on it. Okay, so like I said, we might come back with just. And this is just on the very, very edges of some of these lighter spots. And remember that white, that titanium white is going to fade for us real well. So this works out great. It's just going to give it that little bit of that glint to some of these edges, these harder edge highlight bits. And if it doesn't look right, we can always come back and throw a little bit of the yellow, the other green back on it. I think it looks great. Really starting to shine now. Maybe just a little bit. I did just a little slip there. I want to get that knocked out. What are you doing? Dude, get out of those boxes. You're gonna break models. Hey, butt. Get out. Nutball cat, man. Okay. Put another round of that. I want this gem to be super dark. So, because we're just gonna do some edge highlighting on it. We won't be doing any fancy fading. But, you know, that looks great, huh? Looking pretty snazzy. Well, I'm gonna jump off. I think that's it for us today. An hour and 16 minutes. We're a little over time, but it was really neat to be able to get that done, and it looks outstanding, which is exactly what we want. So we're gonna see you guys tomorrow. Definitely come by, check out what we're doing. It's great to have all you here today. So, and I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we'll get back to more Necron work tomorrow. We won't have the lovely Kristen though. She's got to go back to being a real responsible adult and working.
Blah.
Yeah, I get to goof off and she has to work. But such is the life when you have when you're on medical leave or whatever you want to call it, or forced retirement. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I know I had a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.